Welcome to the next in our series on spiritual growth. Today we're going to see how we can pray using objects in our homes, which can be special to us. This could be a picture or an ornament, or a piece of furniture, a photograph, or as we see now with Hilary Perona-Wright, a group of stones, which she has found and been drawn to over many years. Hilary shares her thoughts and feelings now about these stones, and explains how they can offer us a different way and a different experience of praying to God.
During this time of unusual confinement within my home, I have taken more notice of the things that I have chosen to bring into the house over the years. I am sure we all bring back mementos from holidays and places we have visited. Today I am looking at my collection of stones on the windowsill. Is this something you do too? Pick up a stone or a pebble that catches your eye while on the beach or on a walk in a special place. Perhaps you are creative and would choose a stone for the purpose of painting a picture on its surface, inspired by its contours, to turn the stone into an animal or a face. Whatever the reason, once brought home, they become a reminder, a connection with somewhere we have been. William Morris is famously quoted as saying that we should have nothing in our houses that is not useful or beautiful. Well, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. A builder's eye might see my collection of stones as hardcore, a domestic cleaner as dust collectors, and to a tidy mind they would be clutter. But to my mind, my eye finds them both beautiful and useful. I do not seek to alter their status with paint. I find that they have personalities enough in their natural state. They are like people, and what an assortment we all are. Large, small, jagged, smooth, multicoloured and multifaceted. And today I am going to use my population of stones and pebbles to transport me to be the willing wings of prayer and memories from the physical confinement inside my house to the mental freedom of the outside world. My first stone is reasonably flat and smooth, a skimmer perhaps. Holding this stone in my hand takes me back to my childhood, to a small Cornish bay where I learnt to skim stones across the water with my two older brothers. I remember the joy of achievement over acquiring this new skill as I counted the skipping jumps of many stones. Of course, I could never compete with the strength of my brothers' throws and their greater ability. After one jump or 12, the stones were equally received into the deep waters. And I think of God, how equally he receives us, high achievers and non-achievers alike. I contemplate on how deep is his love and give thanks. By replacing the skimming stone with a piece of glass into the palm of my hand, I return from the Cornish setting of rock pools and cliff tops to the flat shoreline of shingled beaches along the south coast of Sussex. This once clear, jagged fragment of glass has become perfectly rounded and smoothed by the movement of a restless sea over a long period of time. I think of my life how in my youth and foolishness I possessed those sharp edges. Throughout my life, I can see that God has always been holding me in the palm of his hand, and I sorrow for the fact that my mistakes and my much brokenness must have added to the injuries of Christ's crucified hand. From my life journey, my tumbling through time, I have become smoothed by experience and understanding, fashioned and moulded by the Christian way of living. Now, if his fingers close round me, I pray that I will no longer bring injury to that hand. I pray for all people to feel God's protection and presence in their lives. Now I exchange the smooth glass pebble for a rough piece of white rock. It cannot take me to a beach because I found it languishing on a shelf in a charity shop. I saw it as a piece of nature looking so out of place amongst other unwanted ornaments. For a few pence, this lonely rock is retrieved from the shelf and brought home to be adopted into my family of stones and pebbles. I do not know its origin, but now it resides alongside stones from Anglesey to Africa, from St. Giles to Jerusalem. I pray for immigrants, for refugees, for the parentless, the homeless, the nationless. I study the piece of white rock to see where my thoughts will take me. It brings into my mind the French Alps, to a place where you can see Mont Blanc in the far distance. This white crystallized rock in my hand has echoes of a glistening snowy peak. Do the peaks of mountains reach up to touch the heavens? Or is it there that heaven stoops to touch the earth, I wonder? A Cistercian convent lies deep in the valley near the Alps, where the soft, gentle singing of the sisters rises at the hours to the heavens. I give thanks that God can be reached from the valleys of his creation, and that we do not need to be mountaineers. God will raise us up out of the depths of our concerns and depressions. He will help us touch the heavens from wherever we are. I have picked up stones that seemed to sparkle when they were wet, speckled and freckled and catching the light. But how quickly the sun would dry them off and they would lose their lustre. Lord, I pray that you would constantly refresh me with your life-giving water, that I may reflect your attractiveness from my otherwise dull self. I have many stones with a story to tell of walks and occasions, as I'm sure you have too. These were a few of my thoughts and prayers today. Stones may not become living bread upon which to feed our bodies, though the devil would argue the possibility. But for me, they can become spiritual food for a journey which cannot be a physical experience. They can serve to sustain me mentally in a time of prayerful meditation, taking me to places and times which hold happy memories. Enjoy your stones if you have some. God bless.